Avoiding a wildlife check station in Seattle or anywhere in Washington state. What is it? What are the penalties? And what do you do about it if that's the situation you're in? So, if you're just interested in fish and wildlife laws, hunting and fishing laws, or you find yourself in a difficult situation, this is the video for you. My name is Lance Fryrear. I'm the owner of the law offices of Lance Fryrear. We've been defending people charged with crimes, including fishing and wildlife crimes, all throughout Washington state for more than 20 years. My law firm is in Linwood, and we handle these type of things all over the place. And so in this video, I'm going to cover three things. Number one, what basically does the law say? I mean, most people haven't heard of it, avoiding a wildlife check station, fish and wildlife check station. What does it say? What are the penalties? Number two, what are some situations where we've seen this charge? So if you're out there hunting and fishing, what are some things to be careful about? And maybe you run into this problem, and what I talk about sounds familiar. And most importantly, so stay to the end. Number three, what can we do about it? What commonly happens in these situations once an attorney gets involved, and what might we be able to do to help you get out of this mess and avoid hopefully being convicted of a crime, and of course avoid going to jail. So I put these videos out there to help educate the public. There's so little information like this out there. So if you find this useful, please like this video and please subscribe to our channel, because it will help more people get this needed information. So now I'm just going to jump right into it. What is the law? Number one, what is the law avoiding a wildlife fish and check station? So I'm going to provide a link at the end of this description to the video, to the law, so you can look there for it and see specifically what it says, because in these videos I like to cover sort of basically what's covered and not. So think about it this way. The law says you have to obey wildlife check station signs. So what's a wildlife check station? Well, it's basically somebody for fish and wildlife checking to see if you're following the rules with whatever you caught or what you are using to hunt your fish with, stuff like that. So you have to obey the signs. You have to check in when you're supposed to check into if there's something established. And you also have to be truthful and reveal to a fish and wildlife officer when they stop you in a parking lot or something, what happened, what is your catch? What were you using? Show me your catch record card or your tags for hunting type situations. So basically, obey the rules about wildlife check stations. And the main check station I think about is a fish and wildlife officer coming up to you and saying, "Hey, let me see your crab catch," or "Hey, let me see your shrimp or your tag for that animal that you just took," that type of thing. And if you violate this law, it's a gross misdemeanor crime, which means the maximum penalty is 364 days in jail and a $5,000 fine. So number two, what are some situations where we see this charged? And it's a very common charge because people are out there you're out there having a good time, you're fishing, and sometimes we make mistakes. And so the most common situation is a fish and wildlife officer coming upon you either while you're fishing or hunting, or as you're taking your clamming catch back to the car, and they want to find out how many you have of whatever it is you harvested, and you don't tell the truth, or you don't show them that second cooler, or you don't volunteer that you actually have one species you shouldn't of fish or whatnot, or a crab that's undersized. So if you lie to Fish and Wildlife, you don't tell them about your whole catch, they're going to charge you with this type of charge. Another situation where they're going to charge you is if you just avoid them altogether, right? They see you, you see them, and you just take off. That's definitely a situation where it can happen. It can also happen where you're supposed to go in and check in at a certain station for a hunting type thing, and you don't. So that is another place where we see a charge. We see a charge so much, and it's usually just because the person involved gets scared and they don't want to show them that extra bucket that we have of crabs or whatnot, the extra, 4 that we're bringing back for a buddy that was over our limit. And so again, we want to follow the rules because the rules are there to protect, catches for everybody. But so many good people make that type of mistake. So number 3, and thanks for staying to the end, what do we do about it, right? What do we do about it? Because if you get charged with this, it's a crime and you're going to have to go to court. It's the same level of crime as a DUI or a domestic violence assault 4th degree or theft. And so, it's a serious deal. So what do we do about it? Well, the first thing we do is we don't panic. Okay. We look at what happened. We look at why it happened. And then we try to explain to the prosecutor eventually why it happened. Why was it? Are we just inexperienced and we didn't know the rules? Because this crime does not require evil intent. It just, if you don't do what you're supposed to do in fish and wildlife stuff, it's a crime. So why did it happen? What's your prior history? And what can we do about it? How can we show the prosecutor that you've been educated and this won't happen again? Another thing we can do is show how long you've been hunting or fishing. That's sort of a different approach. Maybe it's not new to you, but maybe this is the first time you've had this type of problem. You've been hunting or fishing for 15 years. And so, everyone can make a mistake, especially when they're under a lot of pressure. I'm filming this during COVID times. It's March 2021. You've seen more good people run into problems that we wouldn't expect because we're all under a lot of pressure. And then finally, we can also just claim that we didn't lie to the officer. We didn't know about this other cooler or whatever it is that maybe another person in our party had. And we told them what we knew about because, if we were totally truthful in our point of view and there's something we didn't know about, we can't tell somebody what we don't know about. And so that could be a defense as well. So I hope you find this useful. It's sort of a weird law. And so most people don't know about it unless they run into it. That's why I'm putting out this video. And so if you find this helpful, please like it and please subscribe to our station so more people will learn about it. Maybe I could put myself out of business and no one will ever get charged with this again. I'm sure, everyone would be happy if they're not getting charged with this type of crime. If you find yourself in this situation, if you got stopped by Fish and Wildlife, don't assume you're not going to get charged because usually they send their stuff into the prosecutor. So while you're waiting for a court date, give us a call. We'll talk about what happened. We'll try to monitor the situation. We'll try to get you working on some things to help your case. If it makes sense, we'll get on board. We'll do everything we can, and we'll be there for you. Thank you.